The first event of the weekend was a battle on the beach, and this involved most of the troops in the reenactment. Originally, the engagement did not involve all of the troops. It was just detachments from both sides, but we escalated this to turn into a general engagement. What you're seeing with the beach battle is an initial engagement by just a very few troops. The hunting party versus some Indians and some Rangers on the British side. And then it escalates. Both commanders are feeding extra troops into the battle until it becomes a general action. We had naval support offshore. Basically, the British, the Rangers, the Indians, provincial troops, and eventually regulars were coming out of the woods and driving the French soldiers back toward the fort. Originally, the hunting party was small. Most of them were captured by the British Allied Indians. Captain Pouchot sent a party of troops out to find out what was happening, and there was some action between those groups. A party of troops eventually retreated to the fort. So we recreated this on a much larger scale, involving the bulk of both armies. Of course, the French are outnumbered, so they're eventually going to have to give ground and make their way back toward the fort. But they don't just flee to the fort in a disorganized manner, they're fighting a very organized retreat. And again, this was much larger scale than actually the original occurred in 1759. Most of the American Indians that were involved in this campaign were on the British side, and that represented a significant reversal of alliances. The Iroquois had always been, throughout the war, pretty much either lukewarm or divided toward the English in particular. A lot of the Senecas and the Cayugas supported the French early in the war. They were living closest to the French here at Niagara, and they were going on raiding parties and actually helping the French. As the war continued, in the winter of 1758-59, there was a shift in the loyalty of many of these Western Iroquois, and they began to go over to the English interest. This campaign was the strongest support shown by the Iroquois during the whole war, almost 1,000 warriors in the field. So natives participating on both sides, playing a very significant role. They played a critical role in the outcome. I think sometimes their role is underappreciated, and we tried to portray that during the course of this event. We had several councils between the British and the American Indians, between the French and the American Indians, just showing how important their support was. There was a lot of diplomatic effort put forward to gain alliances with native nations. It didn't take long for Captain Pouchot to figure out that this was a major attack. This wasn't just an Indian raid by the Iroquois who were allied to the British. This was serious business. Very shortly, pretty much the next day, he began to set the fort up to withstand a siege.